Now to the race for the White House. With millions of Americans out of work and countless more struggling to pay the bills, how can a multi-millionaire presidential candidate not seem to be out of touch? CBS News political correspondent Jan Crawford is following that issue for us this morning. Jan, good morning.
Well, good morning, Chris. You know, it's not exactly an issue of money, but how it's used and, how you carry yourself. And now Romney is certainly getting some criticism as he tries to expand this home away from home. But this kind of criticism is always an issue. And other presidential candidates and the president himself are getting hit with it, too.
Everyone knows Mitt Romney is rich. He made a fortune in business and is worth up to $250 million. That's enough money to tear down his $12 million California beach house and build another one 4 times the size, which is what Romney and his family are planning. But at a time when Americans are worried about the economy and how to pay their mortgages, critics say Romney's big renovation plans show he doesn't understand the problems of the little people. You hear it in every presidential campaign. The wealthier candidates like Romney, John Kerry, and Jon Huntsman are portrayed as out of touch with everyday voters and hit with that nasty political insult, they're an elitist. That's exactly what President Obama's critics have been calling him ever since he landed in posh Martha's Vineyard for a family vacation.
This time for 10 days in a pretty elite Maka area where the rest of us are kind of shaking our heads saying, really?
Of course, President Obama has been called the elitist word before, as in the 2008 campaign when he said Americans in small towns have gotten bitter and, quote, cling to guns or religion. So what did then candidate Obama do? He started calling names too, saying his opponent John McCain was the real elitist.
Call it country club economics. How many houses does he own? John McCain says he can't even remember anymore. Well, it's 7.
Sometimes it takes just one innocent exchange to make the elitist label stick, as when George H.W. Bush didn't know the price of milk and looked befuddled by a supermarket scanner. But perhaps it was multi-millionaire John Kerry who wore the elitist label best, with his windsurfing and, of course, his insistence on Swiss cheese on a Philly cheesesteak.
You guys were already ahead of yours, huh?
Jan, has Mitt Romney responded to the reports about the House yet? And besides Jon Huntsman, who was in the report there, what other Republican candidates have to worry about this elitist label?
Well, first of all, the campaign says the Romneys want to expand their house to accommodate their big family. They've got 5 married children and 16 grandchildren, and the work won't start until after the campaign. As for the others, well, it isn't just the Republicans. President Obama and the First Lady reported assets of up to nearly $12 million last year, Chris. But the only other candidate, I think, who could probably touch Romney as far as money is Huntsman. He reportedly has a net worth of up to $80 million and this vast family fortune. His dad actually invented the egg carton, that we put in the refrigerator.
Sure.
So, he's one of the richest men in the world, his dad is.
All right. Jan, how many homes do you own? No, I'm kidding.
Sadly.
Okay, Jan.
I know, it'd be 8 homes. It's quite a lot.
CBS's Jan Crawford in Washington for us this morning. Jan, thank you.
What's your count up to? Kidding. Kidding.
Taking the 5th.
Still ahead this morning.